Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's event. Today, we are going over Intro to AR/VR Development and Design with a little bit of an industry workshop. We're going to have some good guest speakers with us today and share a whole bunch of valuable information. Before I dive into that, I would just like to double check, make sure that everybody can hear me okay, everybody can see me okay. I've enabled the React emojis. You can give me some thumbs up there. Perfect. Or you can just type in the chat log off to the right-hand side there as well. Can hear you and see you fine. Thank you so much, Jonas. Thank you. And then so you found the chat log off in the bottom right-hand corner there. I should also mention that there is a questions tab down there, and there's also a polls tab down there. So in the questions tab, that's where you can enter your questions for myself or for the guest speakers. And we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A period at the end of the session today. So if you put any questions in the questions tab and we're not answering as we're presenting, we're kind of purposefully ignoring it so that we can go over the information as a class. I like to say at the end with everybody, you can actually post the questions right up in front on the screen and kind of answer them one by one. So, but you can also engage with the speakers and with the team here through the chat function in the bottom right corner throughout the entire presentation. There's also a polls tab down there. I did drop one poll in there in advance. I'm just curious where everybody's kind of working right now in terms of what industries you're working in. And I will do my best to drop a couple polls in later in the presentation as well. And I'll notify you so you can interact with those. So without further ado, I will go ahead and begin the presentation here. Let me just share the screen. There we go. Hopefully everybody can see that okay there. So let me kick this off here. All right, so I'll start off with a little bit of an introduction of myself. So my name is Tyler. I work at CircuitStream. I've been with the company for almost 3 years. It will be this spring. It'll officially be 3 years. Previously, I worked in travel and tourism for over a decade. I always kind of joke and say that was my pre-COVID life. And I'm a video game enthusiast, just a little something about myself. Something I did mean to mention in the previous slide is we will be doing a little bit of a giveaway at the end of today's presentation. So for anybody who's able to stay until the end, I'll just share a little bit of exciting giveaway information at the end there for you. We will also have 2 guest speakers in today's presentation. They'll be joining me on stage in a few minutes after I share a little bit of information about the courses and stuff here. But the first will be our XR Development with Unity course graduate, Zohan. And after Zohan, we are going to have Aisha joining us on stage, one of our interaction design and prototyping for XR course graduates. So I'm going to get them up one by one, ask them some questions about their course experiences and kind of what they're doing now. So before we dive into the official presentation with the guest speakers, I'm going to provide a little bit of background information on CircuitStream. So CircuitStream began in 2015 through a network of developers, designers, and creators, and is now a leading provider of technology, technology learning in XR, game development and design, product management, and software development. Oh, I might need some water today. I'm already stumbling over my words. We partner with industry-leading companies and leading educational institutions to offer courses and training to those looking to learn more about these emerging technologies. Something else I should mention is this full presentation today is going to be recorded and emailed out to all of the attendees. So I think that's even if you've attended or not, if you've registered for the event, you should get a copy of this in your email. So yeah, if you're looking for any of the details, if you're looking to write down any of the stats on the slides that I'm going to share, you're absolutely welcome to, but you're also welcome to just kind of sit back and relax and collect that information when it comes through in the recorded format there. So some of you might be curious, what is XR? So XR stands for extended reality, which encompasses virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Virtual reality can be any experience where you're fully immersed into a virtual world wearing a VR headset and you cannot see the real life environment around you. Augmented reality is when your real life environment is more so modified to include computer generated content. A really good example of that would be the Pokemon Go game that exploded a few years ago. We're actually also partners with Niantic, who created that game, but it's a perfect example of augmented reality. And then mixed reality is the merging of both AR and VR to create a world where real and virtual objects exist at the same time. So cool visual example of this would be, imagine sitting at your desk, you're working on a computer, you're getting everything kind of done, but at the end of the day, you're actually just wearing a headset. There's no physical computer in front of you, but you're able to kind of type and work through all of your documents just by using the headset. So the XR industry has grown immensely in the last few years, with 23 million jobs projected to be enhanced by AR and VR by 2030. These jobs are not just around gaming, but also span into many other industries like healthcare, retail, education, construction, and many, many more. Lots of companies have incorporated XR into their businesses already, and you can see just a few examples of some very top global companies listed at the bottom of that slide there. The primary roles in XR are usually grouped into either design or development, and we'll be talking about both of those in the presentation today. So XR designers are primarily responsible for conceptualizing ideas and experiences, planning visuals through storyboarding, and prototyping to ensure optimal user experience. On the other hand, XR developers take these design blueprints and implement them to build an XR app or experience and utilize the coding to bring it to life for an end user. So these people usually work pretty closely together, or somebody might try and develop the skills to be able to develop and design an XR experience on their own from start to finish. We do offer courses in both of these areas, and I'm going to share some details on those for you. Apple actually announced the release of its brand new Apple Vision Pro back in June last year, and it officially became available for purchase this month. This release has catapulted extended reality technology even further into the spotlight than it already was. According to a July 2023 global data report, XR is poised to revolutionize training, design, engagement, collaboration, and entertainment, ushering in transformative changes across industries and refining the quality of human interactions. The Apple Vision Pro is a spatial computer that blends digital content and apps into your physical space and lets you navigate using your hands, eyes, and voice. Sorry, I just saw a question come in at the side. Can you please elaborate job opportunities for the XR design side? Absolutely. Yeah, Hamid, I'm going to share some of that in just a moment here with you too. And then at the end, when we've got some Q&A, you can ask even more questions if you've got anything that I didn't share there. So in order to create XR experiences, you do need some sort of development software. The one that we teach with predominantly in this course is Unity, although it is good to note that the skill sets that you learn with any development software are pretty transferable to other ones. So, we deal with Unreal in some aspects of our game bootcamp, the design side of it. We use Unity for development side, but a lot of the skill sets are transferable, just like learning coding languages. Once you learn one, it's quite easy to learn another one. There's still work involved, but it's kind of easier than learning a brand new one from scratch without having previous knowledge. So that's a little bit on Unity. Unity is the world's leading platform for creating and operating interactive real-time 3D content. You can use it to make games, visualizations, immersive experiences, and much more. As you can see on the screen here, 70% of the top 1,000 mobile games were made with Unity creators located all around the world. Again, these stats are going to be shared with everybody after the presentation today in a recorded version of this. So you can write this stuff down, but don't panic. You don't have to. I'm going to send a copy out to everybody here with these numbers. As I mentioned, there are many jobs expected to be enhanced by XR technology in the coming years. Let's dive into some of those opportunities. Hopefully this answers some of your questions, Hamid. The demand for developers and designers in the XR space has grown dramatically and continues to grow as these technologies become more common. We've broken down the average salaries for design and development roles in both the US and Canada. And as you can see, both countries offer highly competitive compensation. You can see just laid out on the slide here, we've got the United States up at the top, Canada down at the bottom, and then these are all according to talent.com in terms of the average salaries there. Now that you know a little bit more about CircuitStream and the industry, I want to share a little bit of information about the XR development with Unity course specifically. This course is designed for individuals interested in understanding how to use Unity and C# coding to develop XR experiences. The great thing about this course is that it is project-based, so you'll learn concepts in class and get to apply them to real-life projects. Our students really enjoy this aspect of the course because it allows them to build up a portfolio of projects to demonstrate the skills that they have learned. By the end of the 10 weeks, you'll have learned foundational Unity skills, how to code in C#, and how to develop AR and VR applications. So in a nutshell, if you want to learn programming and development concepts, the XR development course is a great fit for you. I've already mentioned Unity, but there are a few other tools listed here that you would also use in the courses like C Sharp, AR Core, and AR Kit. We're always reviewing the materials and iterizing on them to make sure that they're kind of, the most up to date in the industry. So if you've taken a course with us previously, you may see some of these tools that are newer. We may have swapped out some for some, more up to date versions. But just so you know, we're always kind of looking at that content and making sure that it is the most up to date there. The interaction design and prototyping for XR course, on the other hand, is designed for those interested in understanding how to design XR experiences and interactions. This course is also project-based, so you have the chance to take on concepts learned in class and apply them to real-life projects. By the end of the 10 weeks, you'll have learned how to apply the US best practices in XR experiences and prototype AR/VR experiences using industry-recognized tool. I could see some questions coming in on the side there. Just note, guys, if you have any questions while I'm presenting here, just try and throw them into the questions tab at the bottom there. And then once we're done the presentation, between myself and the two guest speakers here, we can do our best to kind of go over them in a little bit more detail and make sure that we answer them fully for you. Just because I can kind of see a few coming in through the chat there while I'm presenting, and I want to make sure I'm not ignoring you at all. So if you want, take those same questions and copy and paste them right into the questions tab. And I can give you more information on that at the end when we go through the Q&A there. So as I mentioned, you'll be finishing the course with a portfolio of projects. This is the design course to demonstrate the skills that you've learned. You also receive a digital badge that you can add to your resume and your LinkedIn profile to show that you've completed the course. And last but not least, by enrolling in the course, you get access to our private community on Discord, which has over 1,200 active members. This community is a great place to network, to get help on projects, to ask questions, find out about career opportunities, or just connect with like-minded people. I've been with this company for 3 years. I still constantly see people coming through. They've gone through the course years ago. They're collaborating and working with current students that are going through the course. People will go through and ask questions while they're working on a project, question about coding, maybe on the development side, or something about, just design functions on the design side. And the community is incredibly collaborative and supportive. So you don't necessarily have to go, Google searching and digging for answers. Sometimes there's a lot of people within the Discord community that are just kind of there to help you. That's in addition to obviously the support you get from the instructors in the courses as well. So just very, very supportive overall. And I think by saying that, you should know that you're a part of the community for life. So even after you've completed the course, you're still invited into our community. You're welcome to collaborate and interact with all of our new students. And in fact, we encourage it. So both of our XR courses have been created to teach you the foundational skills, meaning that you'll gain these essential skills in either developing or designing XR and be able to use them to create XR experiences in a wide range of devices. I'm going to take this opportunity to have a sip of water. I'm running over my words a lot today. Sorry, guys. I'll try to rein that in. There are some student projects on screen here. One of my favorites is actually in the bottom corner, the bottom left corner. It's a VR Hogwarts experience, and you get to kind of wander around in Dumbledore's room in the castle from the Harry Potter world, which for me, I grew up watching it, so it was a cool experience to just kind of walk around in his office there. But these are just some fun examples just to kind of show you some of the creations that our students have made here. Now I'm going to officially invite our first guest speaker on stage for today. Zohan is a graduate of our 10-week XR Development with Unity course, and I'm going to ask her some questions about her experience. So welcome to the stage, Zohan. There we go. Perfect. Welcome. So without further ado, Zohan, I'll kind of dive right in if that's okay, and just ask you some questions about your course experience there. So the first one I'd ask is what motivated you to enroll in our XR Development with Unity course?
Yeah, so at that time I was already thinking of leaving academia and going to industry, and then VR AR is one of the things I was thinking about, like going into further if I were to find a job in industry.
Amazing. So you had some interest in learning more about XR. And then how did the course encourage collaboration and teamwork amongst you and the other students?
So I think it's mostly through the final projects, but there was also some interactions before the final project, because we had the Discord channel, and then people were like asking questions there.
Perfect, perfect. And you're still a member of the Discord channel now, correct? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, perfect. And so, did you find that the course included current relevant tools and trends from within the industry, and had those incorporated into the lessons?
Yeah, I think all of the tools were like pretty up to date when I took the course. And then, but I mean, Unity keeps on changing, so we have to update ourselves for sure.
Of course, yeah. I know some of the announcements from Unity last year were a little bit scary, at least when they were first
Yeah.
announced. I know they retracted some of that pretty quickly afterwards because there was a lot of angry people, but still some questions. That's why I always like to mention too, we use Unity as the predominant tool for teaching development, but the skill sets are also transferable. So you're able to kind of take those lessons and that base knowledge and move to other development platforms if you choose to and kind of use those as well. So next question here for you. Would you find it difficult to have taught yourself all of the skills that you've learned in the course if you were trying to do them on your own?
Yeah, I think for me it's going to be difficult. I know one person who almost like taught himself by looking at the YouTube tutorials. But in his case, he has like very specific projects to do, and then he knows what to look for. But for me, I just want to like learn VR and AR. Have like I don't have like any specific projects to do, so I think taking a course makes more sense for me.
Absolutely. I mean, what I hear from other people when I ask that question is it's kind of hard to develop the foundational skills a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know, the base levels of coding or the base levels of Unity or, anything like any coding language even, and you go and start looking in YouTube videos, it's going to be really difficult for you to kind of learn from that level. So yeah, that there are people out there, and the other thing too, I always like to mention to people is like at Circuit Stream, we don't hate YouTube tutorials. We actually love them. We recommend that you kind of use it, in addition to organized education sometimes, so that you can kind of get the base foundation. And then once you get into specific areas and you need to learn how to do one thing, a YouTube video can be incredibly helpful. Like kind of like what you just said there with the guy that you know. So perfect. And then, so what was a typical schedule like for you throughout the week when you were taking the course?
For me, I think maybe I'll spend like 10 hours per week to work on the homework, and then yeah, just to like learn more in addition to the course. Um, so yeah, I think for me it's not like super heavy because I've been coding for a very long time, and then so like picking up C sharp is like not difficult for me. So I don't have to like spend a whole lot of time learning C sharp too.
Yeah, that makes sense. So for somebody who was brand new, you might suggest that they might take a little bit more time to spend time learning C sharp language and coding languages in general, which absolutely makes sense. I think that could probably be said for any course. If you're going into a course with a little bit of prior education, you're just going to have a little bit of a head start. Whereas somebody, if they come in completely brand new, they'll probably have to spend a bit more time, especially at the early stages, to kind of gain that base foundation. So I just saw a comment. There are new updates from Unreal now too. Oh no, I need to see what those are. We work with Unreal as well, but more on our game development design bootcamp, or sorry, our game design bootcamp. Yeah, now I'm curious, Rebecca. You got me thinking what the Unreal updates are going to be. Um, we kind of already answered this before, but just to reiterate, are there alumni channels or forums where students can stay connected after they've completed the course?
Yeah, so the Discord channel, like everybody is allowed to stay there forever. And then I found like a few collaboration opportunities through the Discord channel, and then some of them are like long term. So it's been like super beneficial for my portfolio.
Amazing. Honestly, I hear that all the time. I just like to share that information with the crowd when we do these sorts of presentations. But I've been with Circuit Stream for 3 years, and I've talked to so many of the graduates, and that's such a common theme. There's so many. I love to see when graduates go together, especially from two completely different cohorts, and they end up working
Yeah.
together as a group on projects. It just makes me really happy. So amazing, amazing. And then, how do you plan to leverage these skills and experience gained from the course in your current or future career?
Um, yeah, so I'm eventually going to like find a job as a VR developer once I get my Canadian PR card. Yeah, so that's like the longer term plan. But I've also done like a few projects for visualization of scientific data. So it's kind of within my current job, I would say. Yeah, so I'm currently a scientist.
Amazing. And you've got another question on the screen here too. What's the project that you worked on? Just because you mentioned you kind of collaborated with some students, I think, afterwards, and they were curious what was the project that you worked on and how was that experience?
Yeah, so I've been working with another alum of Circuit Stream. She's from a prior XR Dev course. And then she has a startup making like VR games for language learning, which is
Nice.
basically Korean right now. Yeah, so I've been helping developing that VR game she's making. Yeah, so
Amazing.
yeah, it's been really great experience, I would say.
Amazing. 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 Oh, and now I've seen somebody's just shared the link to the Unreal pricing updates onto the right hand side there. I'll have to take a look at that afterwards, Rebecca, and report back in the next information session here. In fact, I'm sure there's people on the team who are already more aware of this than I am, but hopefully nothing too drastic. Hopefully it's manageable updates that they're announcing. And then let me see. Yeah, one last question here, I guess, for you, Zohan. What advice would you give to somebody considering enrolling in the XR development course? And are there any like specific skills or knowledge or areas that they should try and focus on before they start?
Yeah, so I think if people are already familiar with other languages like Python or C, then it's not like extremely necessary to learn C sharp specifically, I would say, because picking up C sharp is like very straightforward. If you have like background of object-oriented programming or just C, for example. But I think the most important thing is to get yourself a mouse. Like I didn't when my instructor told us to get a mouse, I didn't really get a mouse because I'm used to using Mac and trackpad. But then I just realized how difficult it is to handle Unity without a mouse. So it's very important.
That's good advice. That's really good advice. And do you have any, just because people ask all the time, do you have any sort of advice between Apple and PC computers when it comes to XR development?
So I think Windows is more convenient because you can just plug in your headset and then run in the editor, and you'll just see things like very fast. For me, I if I want to like test things in headset, I always have to actually build it to my headset, so it takes some time. But I think overall using a Mac is not like a huge problem. And then right now, Unity has the XR device simulator, so you can always just run your program in this in the editor. So it's not like a ton of pain.
Yeah, there's a workaround for it. It's just like an extra step if you have an Apple usually for these types of things. So,
Yeah.
well, perfect. Well, I'm going to invite you back up on stage, Zohan, at the end here for some audience Q&A. I can see there's some questions already piling up in the questions tab there, which is great. If you have a link to your LinkedIn profile or any way for people in the crowd to get a hold of you that you're comfortable sharing, feel free to put that into the chat log while I'm doing the next part of the presentation here. And then for anybody in the audience, if you have more questions for Zohan, like I said, just throw them into the questions tab, and I'm going to invite her back up in a few minutes here, and we'll go over that. So thank you so much, Zohan. That was amazing. I am going to go ahead and invite our next guest speaker on stage for today. This is Aisha. She's a graduate of our 10-week interaction design and prototyping for XR course. And I'm going to do the same thing, just ask her a few questions about her course experience and kind of what she's doing now. So welcome, Aisha.
Hi, nice to
Hi.
be here.
Welcome, welcome. So yeah, we can just dive right in. Same thing that we did with Zohan there. So first question I'll ask you, Aisha, is what motivated you to enroll in the interaction design and prototyping for XR course?
Yeah, so I guess, well, I used to be a UX design consultant, and unfortunately last year, like, because all the layoffs are happening and were happening back then, I got laid off. But the last project that I actually did was an AR prototype, and it was really fun, but I feel like there was not enough information for me on Google to figure it out, and I was just Googling away, like, what can I do? And that's where I found Circuit Stream. And then I talked to one of the advisors, and yeah, and then I got in, and the rest has been history. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And so just to warn the audience, a lot of these questions that I'm asking here are going to be structured very, very similar. I did this intentionally because Aisha and Zohan took two different courses, and I kind of wanted to get similar question responses from two different perspectives for the courses there. So if you notice the similarity in my questions here, you're not wrong. They're the same question. So how does the course encourage collaboration and teamwork amongst the students from your perspective?
Yeah, so the way the course was set up for my cohort was that there was like a Zoom call, and all of us would be kind of in that call, and the program, I'd say the program leader or manager, but honestly, he was like a friend. So he would kind of like lead the project, and we would always like he was really helpful. We could interrupt whenever, and like all of us would kind of, if one person had a problem, like all of us would jump in and be like, oh, we did this to solve it. And so it was really fun. It was very collaborative, and some of us like even like stayed after class, and yeah, and we all helped each other out. Like it was the I guess the teacher was helping out, and also like the fellow students, so we were all kind of collaborating. Yeah.
A lot of passionate people in this industry, and just what you just said kind of makes sense. Or it's something else I hear all the time, that people stick around after the class has ended and just continue conversations. And we've had students actually work together on projects that were presented as a class assignment, and then once they finish the course or the class, they continue with that same project as a group and just keep building on it and just taking it to whatever level they want to, which is amazing. So again, I always love to hear this. So did the course content that you experienced in the design side include current relevant tools and trends from within the industry?
Yes. So there was like it was like a wide variety of projects. So it was like AR prototypes, like we could do filters. There was projects on Unity. There's projects on Shapes XR. And I guess like another thing that I wanted to add was it also helped me. So last in January, I participated in like the MIT Reality Hack. So it was like so you get in initially through like resume and everything, and there's like a wide variety of people who could get in, and yeah, and it was easy to I didn't know my teammates at all prior to the hackathon, and it was very easy for me to like just find my way and become like the XR prototyper of the team. So yeah.
Amazing. And how was the experience with that hackathon overall? It must have been a lot of fun.
It was so much fun, so much fun, so much like connecting with people, so much. It was just a lot of fun. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, just again, it's just everybody in this industry so supportive and collaborative. It's awesome. So, would you find it difficult, or would you have found it difficult to try to teach yourself all of the skills that you learned in the course if you were doing it on your own through like YouTube tutorials or other channels like that?
Yes, yes. So that's just, yeah, like the first 2 months after my unemployment, I think like I took, I tried to learn by myself, but then I realized like I can't. I need people. I need like that like community, I guess. Like I didn't know that I was missing that before I joined Circuit Stream, but afterwards I was like, okay, yeah, you really need that community to help you, because it's really tough. And I think like when you see that other people are also struggling, or like even when you see people trying to reach out for you to help, for them to help you, it's like it's so encouraging, and yeah, it keeps you going.
Yeah, you can almost feel like you're on an island sometimes when you're just trying to take it all on your own, and you don't realize that there's so much support out there and collaboration opportunity with just with networks of people. So, yeah, so that's amazing. So for yourself during the design course, what did the typical week schedule look for you? And just kind of roughly what sort of time would you have committed to the course throughout the week there?
Yeah, so it honestly kind of depends on you as well. So some weeks, like I was able to spend like a good 20 hours, but it was because I wanted to learn more or create something. Other weeks, like I could spend up to like minimum 5 hours. Yeah, and it all depends on like what it was. I guess the Unity projects did take me a little longer to catch on, but it was like, yeah, it depended on what the subject was, what that project was on the week, but it's very flexible. Like you, and it kind of also just depends on you too, like how far you want to go.
That's what I was going to say. If you're tackling like some concepts, like any course, some concepts are really easy to pick up for some people, and then other ones just might take a little bit more time. So one week you might find that you've got some extra time, and the next you might find that you're kind of bearing your head for an extra couple hours just trying to understand the core concepts of something. Yeah, especially in the development side too. I mean, we're on the design side, but especially when you're learning coding languages, I know that's certainly the case. Yeah. So sorry, I was just kind of adding a thought to what you had said there. So.
Yeah.
Are there alumni channels? We already know there are, but maybe you can just collaborate a little bit on your experience with the Discord server and the alumni channels after you completed the course.
Yeah, I guess like I think like what she said earlier too. It's like you could stay on there forever. You can collaborate with anyone there. Along with like the Discord channel, like I was able to, I think like my cohort, like we also stayed in touch on Instagram too, and so we would share like reels of each other's projects, and yeah, on LinkedIn as well. Like I think we liked each other's posts. And yeah, like it's always connected, but Discord is definitely something that I can meet people and have like we can collaborate as well. Yeah, and I find out a lot of information from like the Discord channels too. So it's been very like it definitely gave back.
Amazing. Yeah, you'll probably end up running into some of these folks in hackathons and game jams and stuff as well. So
Yeah.
perfect. And then how do you plan to leverage these skills and experiences gained in the course for your current or future career?
Yeah, so of course like I do want to become like an XR designer, right? I think that's like the end goal, but as of right now, like I'm just like building my portfolio. The like also the I guess the paths I could take is kind of endless. Like I could also like I know like I did like a contract work on like some AR filter, which was really fun. Like you can become like an AR filter designer. There's like I guess like I think like one of my teachers or like I call him a teacher, but he's more like a friend now. But he was like part of like the TikTok creators AR filter, and like so you can take that route. You can become like a VR designer. Like the possibilities are definitely endless. But as of now, I'm just trying to build up my portfolio and hopefully like land a job somewhere. Yeah.
Well, out of curiosity, where did that contract work come from? The one that you were doing the filter?
Oh, it came from Discord. So yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. I didn't even know that. I was literally just asking you. I didn't know where that had come from. So that's even better. Yeah.
Oh no, I meant
Awesome.
like it was like an independent person, but it was like Discord like connected me to that person. Yeah, sorry. It's like
Amazing. No, and we get that a lot too. We have a lot of students on the XR development design and also in the game development and design that end up just getting contract work when they come out of the course. It's an amazing way to kind of get, real world experience, because course experience is real world. We structure these courses so that you're actually doing projects and you're working on things as close as you can be to the real world. But as we all know, as soon as you finish a course and you get your butt kicked actually into the real world, it always feels a little bit different. We do our best to prepare you the best possible way you can. But if you get some contract opportunities right after you can come through a course or as you're going through it, it just gives you, or internships or anything like that. It just gives you a really cool way to get your feet wet in the actual industry and feel like you're doing it as a part of the industry. So So that's awesome. I love to hear that you are doing contract work there. And then what advice would you give to somebody who's considering enrolling in the XR design course? And similar to what I asked Zohan, is there any specific skills or knowledge or areas that they can try and focus on before they start for the design course?
Oh, I guess like again, like it would depend on you. I don't think there's like much that you need to do. You kind of learn it all in the course. So I don't really suggest like you have the option of not doing anything. I do suggest getting a mouse, that's for sure. And maybe learning Blender would be good. I think like that's something you could learn on your own. And that's not something like there's like so many YouTube tutorials on that, and I'm kind of glad Circuit Stream doesn't. We touched on it a little bit, but it wasn't too much. But yeah, you can definitely like learn it on your own as a designer. I think that is a good skill to have. And yeah, maybe like a good like intro to like 3D. Like it really helps you like think in that 3D aspect, like because you're designing with like a z-axis added to your xy, right? So yeah, it was definitely difficult for me to start Blender, but it was super helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of our students that come into this course, like not the majority by any means, but a good portion of them come from a design background just because they're more attracted to it if they have that. So something else that I usually recommend for people is, just trying to challenge yourself to learn like base design core concepts and principles is also going to benefit you. And that's not getting into anything technical. Like, I mean, Blender's amazing, but even a step before that, if you just try, go online and try and teach yourself the core concepts of design in general, if you're not from a design background, it's going to help you as well quite a bit in a course like this. So well, thank you so much, Aisha. The question and answer period with you was great. Like I said, if anybody has more questions for either of the speakers here, just throw them into the questions tab on the bottom. I can see we've got a bunch loaded up there, and I'm going to invite both Aisha and Zohan up on stage together, and we're going to do some Q&A in probably about 10 minutes or so. I'm just going to share a little bit of the upcoming cohort start date information and stuff. So, not quite yet, Zohan. I'm gonna share a little bit more information first, and and then I'll invite you both back up. So perfect. So I'll start with the course schedule here. These courses consist of 1.5 hours of live online sessions per week, as well as over 6 hours of independent study. Based on the conversations that we just had, as you know, you can spend more than 6 hours of independent study throughout the week. If there's an area that you are trying to really understand and you don't have any previous knowledge of, you might end up spending a little bit more time. Or if you're just really excited about something and you decide that you want to learn more about it beyond the class hours or beyond the curriculum for that day, a lot of students end up doing that as well. So a lot of passionate people in this industry, and it kind of shows in the amount of dedication they give to the courses as they go through, especially since it's a short course. It's kind of like short-term pain, long-term gain. You can kind of really focus for a 10-week period, and then afterwards the opportunities will be quite a bit for you. So at the start of the week, the learners gain access to the week's course content, and on the second day, learners have a 30-minute meeting with their instructor. And the call helps the learners understand the goals for the week and ask any questions that they have. I don't know if the structure is exactly the same as it was with the two guest speakers that are in the session here today, but we're always kind of iterating on it and updating. So it's probably similar, but there might be some changes here as well. Learners will have 4 full days to review the course content. The course content is a combined mix of videos, readings, and exercises. Learners will be expected to go over the content before the live session. And then learners are also encouraged to get live support if they need it throughout. Just kind of shows you on the screen what that timeline would look like. They have a 1-hour live session. Live sessions will be in the lab format, while the instructor is responsible for troubleshooting, answering questions, and explaining topics that learners are having any sort of difficulties with. During the lab, learners will be working on the week's assignment as well. This assignment will be problem-based assessment that will challenge learners to put into practices the week's content. So learners are expected to submit their assignments at the end of the week. They will receive access to the new module, and then they'll wait for the instructor's feedback on the assignment. The cycle just repeats itself for the full duration of the course, but that's kind of like what the weekly cycle process would look like. Again, if anybody has any questions on this stuff afterwards, I can connect you with the admissions team. I'll share that information on how to even reach out to them in a moment here. But here are the available time slots for the courses. Just make sure you do factor in the time conversion based on your own time zone. Everything shown on the screen here is in Pacific time. And the two different courses are listed, Mondays and Thursdays, and then the different time slots that are available there for that. So, I mean, if you're looking to enroll and you get to that stage in the conversation, the enrollment advisor is going to give you all the specific opportunities for time slots. Kind of hard to remember it from this stage forward, but again, this whole session is being recorded too, so you can go back and reference this information in your recording. And then in terms of pricing, we offer two different packages for the courses. The starter package is great for anybody who the starter package is great for people who also have a little bit of experience but don't need additional assistance. If you're a complete beginner though, and you want to have a more personalized support from industry experts, the Plus package is definitely the way to go for that. The Plus package, you get access to additional on-demand introductory course, and you get live as well as one-on-one personalized support. The students are able to pay for these courses upfront if they prefer, of course, but we do also have payment plans that are available over 6, 12, and 24-month periods. The payment plan options are dependent on where you are reaching out to us from. We have students from all over the world, so there's just different sorts of payment options for students in the United States compared to Canada, for example. But if you have any questions about that, just reach out and we can kind of let you know what those options would be. As a live attendee for this event, we are offering a special promotion. So you have access to both of the courses with the 10% off. So the standard pricing is everything above the line there. You can kind of see the two price points at the bottom, and then the larger font there, the attendee offer, would be the price points after we factored in the promotion that's available through today's event. And this is the upcoming cohort course dates. So we typically run these courses every few months. The upcoming cohorts are running from March 18th through to May 23rd. And this would be for both the XR development with Unity and interaction design and prototyping for XR. We do have dates coming in, I think, just a couple months after this as well. So if you were looking to enroll in a course and say we didn't have availability, or say the March dates just didn't kind of work for you, just let the team know and we can take a look at the availability for the following dates. They're probably somewhere in between May and July. Admissions people can give you the exact dates for those ones. So. And then, the event registrant giveaway that I mentioned at the beginning. So just as a special offer, Indica, or Indy as he was known with us, former instructor at Circuit Stream. He was with us for a very long time. We love Indy. I got to go to the Game Developers Conference with Indy last year in San Francisco. Indy is an incredibly intelligent human being, and he just finished writing a book. I think this last fall is when it was officially published, called Mastering Augmented Reality Development with Unity. It's a great book. And just so as a little bit of a nice giveaway for anybody who is registering for the upcoming courses through today's event, we are going to mail out a copy of this book that Indy put together. So I'm actually excited to get a copy of it myself. I'm waiting for that right now too. So yeah, just a little special giveaway for anybody who's looking to purchase one of the upcoming courses through today's event. And then if you were looking to register for either of the courses, these are the links for the course pages on all of our university partners, and then directly through Circuit Stream. So UBC, University of Toronto, Alberta, University of California, Irvine, and Central Florida. And then us just at the bottom there. You can write down these links. I know you can't click them because I'm just sharing a presentation, but this recording will come out to you as well. So you can just copy that link into your URL or type it out, and that's how you'll access it. And then if you have any questions directly, you can reach out to us anytime. The easiest way is just admissions@circuitstream.com. And then if you have questions about the courses directly through us, or if you're looking to take it through one of the university partners, we can connect you with the proper admissions person there, if it's somebody at the university or somebody directly through us at Circuit Stream here. So yeah, that's the information on how to get a hold of us. And that's it for the presentation. So I am going to stop taking over the whole stage here and just talking about course information. And I'm going to invite the speakers back up. I'm going to close this. And then both today's speakers come back up on stage here when you're ready. Perfect. And we can take a quick look at the questions tab. I think we've got quite a few in here. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. So how much is the interaction design and prototyping for XR course? I just shared the pricing information a couple slides ago. I know that this question came in a while ago, so I'm pretty sure we answered that question there for you. If you do have any questions about the promotion or the payment plans, I know we mentioned that we have 3, 6, 12, and 24-month payment plans, depending on where you're coming to us from. But if you have any questions, just reach out to admissions@circuitstream.com, and they can give you more details about that. But I did just share the pricing, so hopefully that you got that info there, Rebecca. Is the scripting part of the course for beginners, or do you require prior knowledge of coding? Actually, Zohan, maybe I'll let you answer that one.
Sure. So I think it's like quite at the beginner level because the instructor will like go through the code step by step, and then they will also share the code in the Discord channel. So I think it's pretty pretty much at the beginner level.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said before, if you have a little bit of prior experience, it's only going to help you. Usually in that case, the first week or so of the course might just be a bit of a refresher for you. But then also a lot of people who say that they knew a different coding language, they still, have benefit from that first week because they still end up learning something they didn't know anyway. So yeah, but it is just to kind of sum up what Zohan said, it's a completely introductory level. It's beginner level fully. So you don't have to have any prior experience. And if you don't, and you're interested in this course, don't let that deter you. We will definitely teach you from the ground up. Can we see any examples of student portfolios at the end of the course? Yeah, I know in the presentation I shared just a couple moving GIFs of some of the student projects, but we do also have student portfolio information. Hamid, I don't know if that's on our website. I'm drawing a blank here right now on how I can get this to you, but I think the easiest way is if you reach out to us at admissions@circuitstream.com and just ask for examples of student portfolios and projects. We'll send you some links, or we'll send you the actual hard copies of them via email. I know there's a place where they live, and I want to say it's on the CircuitStream website, but I don't want to lie to people in case it's not there. I don't want to send you somewhere that it's not. So just reach out to admissions@circuitstream.com and just ask for some examples of the student portfolios from the 10-week courses, and we will absolutely provide those for you. But also take a look at the CircuitStream website and see if you can find it there, because I think it might be there too. What are the contact hours like? Do you have suitable place for people working? I think, Owen, you might be meaning just the course schedule throughout the week. And so I'm going to answer this two ways. So we have the Discord server where you're able to kind of reach out anytime. There's no guarantee that people will be on it when you're reaching out with a question, but the Discord server is monitored by the professors, by students, by lots of people all the time. So if you're looking just to kind of connect with somebody to ask some questions, that's, you can do that anytime. Just it depends on when the people are on. But in terms of the course structure throughout the week, I did share that there are some time slot options available. So if you are working, just look at your time zone and then take a look at the options available and just do your best to kind of pick one of the time slots that would kind of work the best with your schedule. The other thing too is that the classes are recorded. I don't ever recommend that somebody take this course and not attend the live classes. I think it's imperative that you attend the live classes and that you collaborate with the other students. But if you do miss a portion of the class, or if the doorbell rings or the phone rings or something and you've got to run, it is recorded, so you can go back and kind of reference those materials at any time too. So Owen, I'm hoping this is answering your question. If it's not, just feel free to elaborate on it in the questions tab, and I'll do my best to kind of circle back. But I hope that answered there. What are the prerequisites? Do we need to buy a VR headset? So prerequisites, like we said, you don't really have any for either of these two courses. They're both completely beginner-friendly courses. So if you're coming into the development side and you have a little bit of coding knowledge, that's great, but you don't need it. If you're coming into the design side and you're have a design background, that's great, but again, you don't need it. In terms of a VR headset, I'd be curious to kind of hear the perspective from both of the speakers. But what I say when I started my role here at CircuitStream, I was working in admissions, and I had people ask me all the time, like, Tyler, I want to take this course. I'm very interested, but I have a limited budget. Do I buy a headset first? Do I buy a course first? Like, what do I do? And my answer to people is always the same. The headset's going to help you understand your course materials like a lot more. However, the education that you're learning is mostly through a computer. Like when you're working and developing in Unity, you're doing that through your computer for the most part, and then you're exporting it into your headset to kind of see what those experiences look like. And Zohan, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong in anything that I'm saying here, but the advice that we give to people is if you're looking to do both, it's safe to start the education without having a headset in hand, but you're going to want to eventually invest in a headset for the better of your education. That's the advice I gave, at least when I was in the enrollment role here in the advisor role. So maybe I'll let you guys weigh in on that as well. Go ahead, Zohan. I saw you nodding there.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. If you just want to like learn the stuff, you can just use your computer and then the XR device simulator. It's doable, but it's just like a very different thing when you actually see your application in the headset.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of libraries have them too. So like even like these days, it wasn't so common a few years ago, but you could even play around. And if you didn't have quite the budget yet, you could always run to the library and test out your different developments as well. So, and then on the design side, Aisha, do you think it's important to have the headset as well, or is it kind of the same thing? You could kind of get it eventually, or
No, I think you do need a headset because it's like it's a different experience, and like for user experience or designing something, you need to like have that VR headset in order to design. So we started using our headset like from I guess like the first class in Shapes XR. Like, yeah, I would say in the design side, you definitely do need it.
amazing. Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's always great to get the perspective from students who have actually gone through the course. I've talked to a couple design students, I think, who didn't have the budget right away, and they were kind of leaning on, the library options, at least at the start, and eventually we're going to get it. So I know it's an option, but it probably helps you or benefits you quite a bit to have access to a headset going through either of the courses for sure. So perfect. So let me jump into the next one here. Do we get any career support to help us find jobs after the course is over? Also, is this course enough to land a job in VR, or will we need further education? So we basically we offer career support, but they're part of our 6-month boot camps. We don't have a career component that's attached to the 10-week courses that we offer. They're meant to be more introductory level courses, but kind of what you've heard from both of the speakers here today, and then from myself, there's incredible network and community of people around. So there's tons of opportunity to find people who are looking for contract work, or just looking for support on projects that they're working on. So there's a lot of ways for you to kind of put yourself out there after you take a course like this. For somebody who was on the development side, for example, if you were looking for additional career support, we do offer the 6-month Unity Development Bootcamp. There is a huge focus on game development in this bootcamp, but it is predominantly Unity development. So if you were looking at, kind of going through different options with us, and something that did come with career support, that would be a good track for you to start with the 10-week and then, move into something like the 6-month. But as a straight up component of the 10-week courses, we don't actually have career support for these courses. We just have the network and opportunities that kind of would come with that. And then, is this course enough to land a job in VR? We've had a lot of people land a job in VR after they've taken this course. Something what I would say, similar to any course, is if you do have a little bit of a background experience, if you've, if you're a designer and if you're working for a design firm and your design firm said to you like, Aisha, I need you to learn how to design this augmented reality app for our company, and we specifically want this. That's going to be a lot easier of an opportunity than somebody who has no experience prior, isn't working for a company that they're looking at incorporating this with, and is just looking for a straight up opportunity in the industry as somebody completely new. But that would be the same as any industry. So it kind of depends on what your background is and what your goals are and what you're looking for. But usually what I say to people is this is enough to get you the base level education that you need to be able to land a career eventually. You just have to put in the time and the effort for yourself. And then once you've got the base foundations, I think that's one of the most important keys. So I could kind of see you guys nodding. Is that accurate from your perspectives as well? Yeah. Okay, good. And then, so let's see. I'm a Unity game and Unreal game developer, but I'd like to know about the job market for both developers. So, I mean, I share a little bit more information on the job market for game development when I'm sharing presentations on our game development bootcamp or the Unity development bootcamp. Our team can share more details on that with you, though. Abdul, if you just reach out to, I know I've said this a few times, but just send a quick email to admissions@circuitstream.com and ask about information on the game development career side. We can even connect you with our career manager, One Eye, and she can provide you more details on that side too. But the job market for both developers, I'd have more general stats for that in my other presentation for the game development industry. But hopefully some of these stats that I included for XR developers and designers and the salaries and things like that in this presentation helps you out a little bit there as well. So I imagine Macs are required for development for the Vision Pro. Ooh, does anybody know if that's true? Zohan? You don't know? No, I don't know either.
Well, I mean, you can just I use Quest 2. I don't use Vision Pro.
It's fine then. Okay.
Yeah. Like you can just always build to whatever device. Even Microsoft, you can just build to it. But it's not like you have to pair your Mac with Vision Pro.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's more the tools that you're using. Like the Vision Pro and the Mac probably communicate really nicely together because they're both Apple products, but you can still use like Unity, for example, on a Mac and then export that to a Vision Pro, for example. So that makes sense. I don't know why I got confused so much when I started reading that question, but thank you. All right. What is the highest level regarding Unity skills and tools that is taught during the development course? Do you touch on shader graph or VFX graph, for example? Zohan, I'm going to have to let you answer that one again.
I don't know how you can define like the highest level. But we touched a little bit of shaders. We didn't go through shader graph, so I learned shader graph and VFX graph on myself. But I think VFX graph is not compatible with Quest 2, so I was never able to test VFX graph on my headset.
Okay. Yeah, that's a much more technical answer than I would be able to give to that question. So hopefully, Owen, that answers your question there. But again, if you want any more details, even actually, Owen, if you go to circuitstream.com and click on the courses and then click on the XR development with Unity course, you can request a copy of this syllabus, and the syllabus will be emailed out to you. And then once you get that, you'll be able to look at each of the sections, the modules, and kind of see what the breakdown is and kind of how in depth they would go into each of the areas. So hopefully that helps. But again, if worst case scenario, everybody in the chat can always default to admissions@circuitstream.com, and they can answer any questions that you have that I don't answer during the session here. How much coding is required for XR prototyping as a UX designer? I want to say none, but I'm going to let Aisha answer that question.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably zero. Yeah, but I guess like Unity does require like some like I guess you just need to know the layout of it and kind of input everything. But other than that, like you don't really need to know coding.
Perfect. Good. I've been telling people they don't need the coding on the design side for a long time, so I'm happy that that's correct. All right. How many deep the formation during the course of the platform? How many deep the formation during the course of the platform Shape, XR, Figma, Spark, AR, and Arrow? I don't understand. Do you guys understand what they're asking there? Is
it how deep do we go into the platforms?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll let you guys weigh on that if that's the case.
Yeah, so Shapes XR, I think like we did 2-3 weeks, and so you really get to know, and I think all of us joined in. That's why I said like you kind of need the VR headset because we all joined in VR live, like all of us together, like, and we worked on like the Shapes XR prototyping and like designing it in virtual reality for like 2-3 weeks, like at that near the end of the like I guess like we took like half an hour to discuss and then the rest of the time to like go in and prototype. Figma, you don't need to know, but I do suggest you should know. But I don't think we really touched on that. We did a little bit, I guess, but there was templates already there for my course. So I think it was HoloLens, right? They had their own template, Figma template, so you could just copy and paste and like kind of like customize it. But I'm pretty sure like, yeah, and I've used Apple's, like there's like a community in Figma, so you can just like copy the templates there and then like customize it. Spark AR, yeah, we used Metaspark, and then we created like a project on it, so it took like the whole week. And Arrow, yeah, we touched on Arrow as well, Adobe Arrow, I think like for a week or so. So yeah, you I guess like what Tyler said, it's all project based. So we complete like a project within almost all the tools you mentioned. Yeah.
Amazing. And it's all introductory level. So yeah, I think the goal is probably to like familiarize yourself with those tools and then just spend a little bit of time like, learning the base components of each of them. So that's perfect. And as I'm jumping between the questions here, I did drop another poll into the polls tab a little bit before, and I forgot to mention it to people. It was I can't remember what it was. I think it was, I was just asking if people were looking to take the courses when they were looking to do them. So just wanted to mention that, but I'm going to jump into the next question here. What design and prototyping tools do you use in the interaction design course? I know we've shared some of them there, and we kind of just went over some as well, but are there any other ones, Aisha, that you wanted to mention?
I guess like, yeah, all of them, the ones you mentioned, Unity, Shapes XR. I guess one that Circuit Stream, I guess like that I did end up using, but again, like because Circuit Stream like has so much, it helped me prepare to like learn Bezier. Bezier was like an amazing tool, and it's basically like a huge watered down version of Unity and Shapes XR, and you can use it on your laptop. So yeah, it was so much easier to use. So again, like this course really prepared you to use like those type of tools.
Perfect. For this is for everyone. Why did you choose the XR industry? Like, where did the initial passion come from? You've been quiet for a bit, Zohan. I'll let you go first.
For me, it's just like I got pretty bored during the pandemic, and then I accidentally bumped into VR during that time. So I decided I want to learn more. That's all.
And then for you, Aisha?
Yeah, so actually, like again, like before I got laid off, the project that I was working on, like it was so when I was meeting with like the I guess the suite people, like the C-suite, which is really like intense, like really high up there, right? And so our first project, like they were really like their faces were down, right? And they were just super serious. But after I like somehow I don't know how I made that AR prototype, after I made it and showed it to my team, and then they showed it to them, like our next meeting, their faces just lit up. So I was like, I think this experience is definitely gonna like help companies, and it's definitely a huge it's like a different, it's almost like magic, I'd say, right? Like it's a different experience, and like I think I got bored of like what Zohan said. Like I kind of got bored also of like 2D designing, and I think I wanted to go into XR. So yeah.
Absolutely. And once you see the possibilities, like people's eyes light up like that all the time when they see like the training possibilities, or like, I always use examples in healthcare because it's such a dangerous place to go in and like practice something on the human body. But if you could go in and practice heart surgery using a VR headset, don't know that we're quite there yet, but we're getting to those levels, and we're able to kind of use this technology for that type of training, which is just, it's crazy. So, so let me see here. What time is the live session? The time slots are including the live sessions. Oh, so it was basically what I was saying before. Here, let me see if I can share this again. So this screen here, I'm going to hit done answer. Oh no, I don't have to. There we go. Perfect. So that screen there kind of shows like the breakdown of the week and kind of when the live session would be. So you can see on Thursday where it says the workshop session there. And then outside of that, these are just the time slots, just to kind of reiterate what the time slots were. So that's kind of like what the week would look like. This is a breakdown of the actual timing throughout the week. So 1.5 hours with the online session, and then over 6 hours of independent study. That's that. And then this whole presentation is going to be recorded and sent out to everybody there. So just in case you missed anything here, or if you just want to kind of go back and look at it again, you'll get a copy of that there. So, oops, I'm going to close this now. And then what is CircuitStream's relationship with the universities? Let's say UBC. Yeah, so we offer the courses through the university. So we're partners, like in Canada, we're partnered with University of Alberta, University of Toronto, UBC, and McGill. And we offer the courses, different courses through each of the partners, depending on what sort of course portfolio they're looking to offer to the students. But we just have a direct relationship where we offer the courses through. And then once you take the courses through the university partners, you get certified by us. And the digital badge is also has the university logo and information on it as well. So it just gives you additional kind of supporter, or it gives you the logo from the university to put on your badge once you've completed the course. So hopefully that answers that. Could we get a copy of the book if we've already registered? So the book, the giveaway is more of a giveaway. It's kind of like it's just like anything in life. When you come across a promotion or a giveaway at the time, it doesn't necessarily apply for people who have already made the purchase previously. So I'm looking to only really give out a copy of the book to those who are looking to purchase the course as a part of today's session, just as like a fun giveaway for them. But I do highly encourage. I think the book itself is somewhere between $40 to $60 Canadian. Last time I looked, it's somewhere in that range. And although I haven't been able to read through it, I do know the author quite well. And I think that the book is going to be amazing. So feel free to look it up. It's just on Amazon.ca there. And then what is the size of the cohorts? So the cohorts, we do blended cohorts sometimes. Sometimes we have students from the different universities in the same class. As far as I know, we try and cap the cohort somewhere between about 15 and 25 students. Around like the 20 mark is probably the sweet spot. Aisha, Zohan, what were your class sizes? Were they around that, or were they a bit smaller, a little bit larger? Or
I think mine was smaller, something like 10 or 12.
Perfect. Good. The answer, I don't want to hear that it was too much bigger is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, mine was pretty small. I'd say like 4 to 5. But in the beginning, it was like 8. But yeah, like I said, we became really close friends afterwards.
Oh, wow. You had a really small cohort then. So yeah, I mean, the goal for us is to try to keep them smaller and more personalized. We don't want them to get too big, or, because then you just don't get the same level of connection with the instructor and with the other students. I mean, especially like your example, Aisha, is perfect because you ended up in a really intimate cohort and you're all still working together and you're all very close. That's the collaboration that we're kind of intending as the students go through the courses. So yeah, to answer your question, I think 15 to 25 is where we would cap it, but most end up somewhere probably around the 15 to 20 mark, depending on the time of year and just how busy the cohorts are. So we also have the different time slots, so that does a really good job of distributing people at the different times throughout the day too. So, and then let's see here. Would the discount be applicable for the May-June sessions? Yes. The early bird promotion that we're running for this here is going to run until, I think it's only available until the 16th. Let me just look at my calendar here to see. Yeah, this Friday is the 16th. So basically for anybody looking to purchase, even if you purchase for a future cohort, so if you're looking at doing one for the May-June, you're not available to do the upcoming ones here. As long as you purchase before the deadline on the 16th, we would be able to apply that for the future cohorts for you as well. And we'll still send you a book too. I'm a social media, I need a Discord account. Will I need a Discord account for the class, or is it just helpful? I would strongly recommend it. the thing is like Discord's not just like any other social media. It's, you're not really like posting anything on Instagram. You're not on TikTok looking at people dancing and singing and lip syncing, which I mean, I do all of those things too. But Discord in this case is more of a network. It's really the way to connect with the other peers and to connect with your instructors, and even more so once you've completed the course. So even more like, and this is probably controversial to say, but even more than an actual headset for the courses, I would strongly recommend that you have Discord. It's probably one of the most important things you can do just to get into that network of people. Like you said too, you even mentioned before, Aisha, like you kind of didn't realize the importance of the network until you had it. And then you're like, wow, how was I doing this? I was completely on an island alone before. And so many people feel that way until they find a network. So I wouldn't say look at Discord like a standard social media. Just look at it more as like a network and a communication tool. So, well, what microphone am I using? This is the Hyper Quadcast microphone. I think it's actually not even mine; it's my partner's, but it's great for streaming and gaming, and yeah, he does a little bit of streaming sometimes, so I think that's where we ended up with these. But yeah, Hyper Quadcast, and I've also got a Blue Yeti sitting beside me over there as well. But this one's just a little prettier on camera. So, as an alumni, I couldn't get to test anything because I didn't have a sufficient power computer. Now I do. I can't seem to access my account or the recorded videos. How can I regain access? Caesar, reach out to us, please. Reach out to us right away. I've been trying to reach by email, but I don't get a response. Can you reach out to me, Caesar? Tyler@circuitstream.com. Just send me a direct email and I will make sure that you get an answer to that. I don't know why you wouldn't get an answer if you were reaching out previously, but that's certainly not a normal scenario. I will definitely get an answer for you. So please just reach out to me at Tyler@circuitstream.com and I'll get that answer for you. I'm just going to put this one up too, just so we said we answered it. What's the main tool used in design and how is it compatible with a Mac? Also with the Vision Pro and Mac Duo, resolve the problem of designing with a Mac. So we kind of went over some of this before, but what's the main tool used for designing, Aisha, in the design course? Is there like a main tool you would say?
I'd say it depends on what you're making. So if you're making screens, like Figma and like maybe I guess Unity or like Figma and like anything that you can show your prototype. So that could be Adobe Aero or like I personally use Bezier a lot. And then with like the Apple Vision Pro, Mac Duo, okay, so like I guess like you can also design for Vision Pro in PCs because it is prototype, so you don't particularly need Xcode or like anything that'll display it in like an augmented reality like fashion, which is nice about prototypes. You don't need to like it's a prototype, right? So it's you just need the design design guidelines to match Apple's guideline, and that would be like designing for the Vision Pro.
Perfect. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. You actually said it and summarized it better than I could have there. So perfect. Thank you, Aisha. And then Caesar, it looks like this is a continuation of the previous question that you were asking. Your company's developing VR XR department, and you told them you took a class, which is amazing. We want you to be able to utilize that education and take that into your workspace and definitely use it. I mean, you took the course with us. So if you're having any trouble accessing your content, Caesar, like I said, please reach out to me at Tyler@circuitstream.com. I will connect you with the education team and we'll make sure that you get access to those lessons and everything that you had there. So. And then, we've only got 2 questions left, folks. Would you still recommend the course for someone with a lot of Unity 2D experience? I don't know if that's, would that be more on the development or the design side? A lot of Unity 2D. I'm just going to guess that that's on the development side. I'm not quite sure, but do you guys have any advice for somebody who's coming from like a lot of Unity 2D?
Well, I guess the best way is just to look at the syllabus and see like how much new things there are. But I feel like for the first 1/3 or a quarter of the course, we were like learning Unity because we are like all complete beginners of Unity. So if you have like Unity experience a lot before, then that part is probably safe to ignore. But then the rest of the course is like about VR and AR.
Perfect. Perfect. And then, oh, we got another question come up. We got two here. So is there a group here, Abdul? I don't know if you mean like, is there a group in the room with us right now? We've still got 20, 25 folks in the room with us right now. If you're looking for a group like a circuit stream group to kind of connect with, the easiest way is to take one of the courses and then you get into the community. But if you have any questions, I'm hoping I'm answering that right. If I'm not, just let me know. You can always reach out to admissions@circuitstream.com and just ask more questions about the networking and opportunities that we have here. And then one more thing. Oh, thanks, Caesar. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm happy to help. I just want to make sure that you have access to your lessons and stuff, especially if your work is asking for it and you took the course with us. Like, take that into your work and use the skills that you learned with us and employ the department or the app development, whatever it is that they want. So that's it. That's all of the questions in the questions tab. Can you drop the link to apply to the cohort? That was in the main chat here. So I'm just going to put this back on screen really quick for everybody in case they need to see the links to apply. There we go. So those are all the application links. If you're looking for UBC, for UFT, U of A, UCI, UCF, or just directly through CircuitStream, just follow any of these links here. You can take a quick screenshot or take a photo on your phone right now too, and just type this into your internet URL or your browser, and you'll be able to pull it up and look at the application process there. I think you can also ask for the syllabi there as well. So, and then Discord is an instant messaging platform. I'm just making sure that there's nothing else that we missed in the chat here, guys. I'm not interested in this course. I thought about whether the course was for a job. I always studied all this in college. Amazing. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us either way, Abdul. Happy to have you here just to share information on the industry and to hear from some cool speakers that took these courses with us. So, but that's it. Thank you, folks. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you. Big special thank you to both Aisha and Zohan for taking the time to answer my questions today and then also answer the questions from the crowd. Zohan, I don't know if you shared yours in the chat yet, but if you have a link to your LinkedIn profile or anything that you want to share, any way that people are able to reach out to you and connect, feel free to put that into the chat log there. I don't have my link ready either, but you can just search me. I'm Tyler Trapp, and if you search Tyler Trapp and and CircuitStream, there's only one profile that's going to come up, I think. So it's not a very common name. So yeah, reach out to me, connect with me. I'm happy to connect with everybody there at any time. And I think Zohan might be grabbing the link and putting it into the chat right now.
Oh, I put there a while ago.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's up there. Jeez, I'm sorry. So it's already there. I'm just sitting here stalling for no reason then. All right. Well, thank you so much to the speakers again. Thank you to everybody. And be sure to look out for our next events that we have coming up. You can look on CircuitStream's website, or you can look through the university partners. We usually have the events listed through the event pages there too. So thank you so much to everyone. And I hope everybody has a fantastic Tuesday. Bye.